I'm live. We're live. We're live and kicking. Or in fact, just while I sort something out, be right back. We'll see if this works. Right, hello there again, everyone. I'm back. Nice to see who have we got in the chat. Hello, Jean-Luc. Hello, Overlord 007, Clacker the Geek, Oliver Street, JBTV, Callum MacArthur, Rebecca Fithian. Hello. Nice to have you all here. Yeah, I thought I'd try this again. You know, I haven't live streamed in quite a long time, nearly a year, I think, and I didn't really have the right setup. I'm using Streamlabs OBS for the first time, so hopefully the little chat box window is appearing where my finger is. At least that's what my screen's saying. And, you know, any alerts that pop up, any super chats, things like that will go up. Not that way, Adam. There, top corner, where the jacket is. I hope, anyway. I haven't tested this. This is sort of a test live stream, first live stream. I've been inspired by some of my peers who've done this. I know Darius has done live streams, Mr. TARDIS as well. And sorry, it's quite early in the day, about midday. I know sort of the afternoon, evening's better. But hey, here we are. So, Doctor Who Flux, the Halloween Apocalypse. If you want like a more, I guess, I say in-depth, it's very off the cuff, but like that sort of review, I did release that on my channel a few days ago, so you can go and check that out. But yeah, it's been a few days, hasn't it? We've all had a bit of time to reflect, gather our thoughts, and I mean, I've watched it again. I still really enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. I know the most common criticism, or one of them, has been that the episode crammed like way too much in, sort of like a Spider-Man 3 effect, if you remember that film where that had, like, was it 3 villains, I think? This one, you know, you've got like the Weeping Angels, you've got the introduction of Dan, you've got Swarm and Azure, and you've got the Sontarans and Carvanista. You know, yeah, there's a lot going on. I personally didn't mind that. That just made me even more excited. I know some people argue that the narrative sort of doesn't go anywhere. Just have a quick look at the chat. Because of my screen, by the way, because I've only got one active screen, I'm not going to be reading the chat all the time, so do bear with me. What have we got? You've never been to one of my live streams, Clacker. Well, glad to have you here. I mean, it's I've not done many, to be honest. I'm good, thank you, JB. But first of all, yeah, super chats are off. Oh well, that's odd, isn't it? I should turn those on. You'll have to bear with me. But what did you guys think of Chapter 1 of Flux? What did you think? I know some of you have probably left comments in my review video, but let me know in these comments. You know, are you enjoying Doctor Who Flux? Billy Garrett John, hair is on flames as per usual. That's right, man. You know, I stood out. It's very windy outside. I stood out in that wind, and it stuck right up. So glad to see that worked. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, let me know what you thought of Doctor Who Flux. It says there's buffering, is there? Oh, right. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on there. Let me see what I can do about this. So you can tell I'm new to live streaming, can't you? It's all brand new to me. Oh, well, it seems super chats are off. I won't do anything about that for now. It doesn't matter. This is just a test like a test live stream anyway. No biggie, no biggie. Yeah, comment your thoughts. Comment your thoughts on Doctor Who Flux. I want to know. I want to know exactly what you think so we can talk about it. That's like the Flux got to the hair. The Flux exactly got to the hair. I don't know why it got to the hair, but it did. It absolutely did. Sorry about the color grading, by the way. I tried to set these settings to like be the most optimal. I know it looks a bit faded on the YouTube tab, so I'm not really sure like what's going on there. But you know, oh god, this is the madness of live streaming, isn't it? You just like you don't make it up as you go along, but you know, you muddle through. You watched chapter 1 of Flux. It was very good, very worth watching. Thank you, JBTV. I'm glad you found it was worth watching. I know a lot of people who I've chatted with, like family members or people who are active in like the Doctor Who community, really enjoyed it as well, so that's a positive. Macra, it gave me Avengers Infinity War vibes with the build-up of all the different characters and storylines. Yes, yeah, now that you mention it, especially that cliffhanger, I won't, well, I'm assuming you've all seen it. If you haven't seen it, this stream might have some spoilers in it. But yeah, no, it definitely had that sort of it's all building up vibes and see how it pays off. Jean-Luc, I don't think it was for me, but I'm looking forward to where it goes. Feel like the sheer amount of stuff almost lessened the impact. That's completely fair enough. As I said, like I know some people thought that because there was so much going on, it sort of took away from whether it was like, you know, the overall story or if it was the way the story was told. So I do hear what you're saying, Jean-Luc, and thank you for your comment as well. It's much appreciated. Aiden, you'll figure out live streaming soon enough. I hope so. I know it took me longer, honestly, working OBS. I know OBS is meant to be like the, what is it, like, you know, the simple way of doing things, but trust me, it took me forever just to like set this up with like the chat box and stuff. So I'm getting there. Hello, Blair. Oliver, the Swarm are very beautiful looking aliens, even though they would want to kill. That's right. Have you seen those like new pictures recently? They've got style, man. They're wearing like these cool suits and like the mad drip. It's like so good, really good. And what have we got from is it K? Sorry, Kauro? Sorry, I'm really bad with names. Chapter 1 was overpacked and all over the shop, but it was entertaining. And the solo chemistry between Jodie and Yaz was awesome. Wish we could get a season with just them. A lot of people were saying that, especially before this series aired. And obviously the whole Thasmin predictions, like, are the Doctor and Yaz going to get together? And I loved, by the way, seeing on places like Twitter, you know, the scene when they fall on the bed with the handcuffs. All people who wanted Thasmin were screaming. They were like, oh my god, Thasmin, they've put them in a bed. It's happening. I mean, hey, we've still got up to, like, what is it, 8 episodes with them? You never know. You never know. Rob Lowe says, love Doctor Who Flux. It was well worth a look. Oh, I'm glad you think so. Hope you stick around for the following 5 chapters. Joseph Adam, you've pre-ordered the season 17 set. Excellent. I've pre-ordered that as well. Wonderful stuff. One thing I did want to... Oh, sorry, Ryan, you said you didn't like it much, but I hope the things they set up pay off good and it's not a Series 6 situation. Love the videos. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, the Series 6 situation, I remember watching that. So I was 15. I always say the age because I think it gives a good bit of context. I was 15 when Series 6 went to air. And it wasn't, I was still into Doctor Who, but it was probably the time when my like engagement of the franchise was at its lowest. Obviously, like, you know, as a teen, I was changing a lot anyway, but I didn't really, sort of like what John Luke was saying earlier, like he didn't think Flux or this opening episode was for him. Series 6 didn't feel like it was for me, personally. I have rewatched it since, once or twice, and, you know, it has its peaks, you know, like The Doctor's Wife I think's great, The Girl Who Waited, things like that, but a lot of it feels a bit muddly to me, or at least it doesn't engage me in the same way that other stories do. So, yeah, hopefully it won't be a Series 6 situation in that sense. What I wanted to talk about a little bit as well, one aspect that viewers of this channel will know I'm really big into, of course, is the viewing figures aspect. Now, before anyone starts, yes, in this day and age, like, is there much point, you know, really talking about viewing figures? You know, probably not. The show's immediate future is secure. You could argue viewing figures mean gradually less and less these days, but I'm interested in numbers. I'm a numbers guy. I like my numbers, so I like to talk about them as well. And the only thing that has annoyed me really about that sort of discourse, if you like, is that I've seen some peers, if you like, some of the content creators who have gone out there with titles being like, this is the worst overnight viewing figures in New Who history. And I'll tell you right now, folks, that is a blatant lie. It's just a blatant lie. For full context, Flux, or part one of Flux, I should say, got 4.43 million in the overnight viewing figures, which, you know, in this day and age is not too shabby, I'd argue, you know, compared to past series and stuff. What I'm going to try and do now is switch to the desktop view so you can see the desktop. I'm not sure how well this is going to go. As I was saying, like, I've tried this before. Hopefully you'll see my desktop. I'm only working with one screen as well, you see, so I'm juggling. So let's give it a try. So we'll hit desktop. Oh, before I do, also, when I hit desktop, I won't be able to see the chat because, again, I'm working with one screen, so you'll just have to bear with me on that one. I'll come back to it. So, desktop. Hurrah! Hopefully you're seeing my Twitter and a tweet from Lizo Mazimba. Let me know in the chat if you can see that, and I'll quickly check it in a second. But Lizo says, the Doctor Who series opener was watched by an overnight audience of 4.43 million, higher than most of Series 12 overnights. That's correct. He mentions it. It's not as high as the Series 12 opener, Skyfall, which had 4.88 million. Interesting to see if the one story for 6 eps means figures rise higher than the usual fall. He continues on to say, also worth noting that Skyfall Part 1 was a New Year's Day special. If the one overall storyline cliffhanger format keeps figures at this level or sees a rise, it'll be excellent news. But if it falls at the rate of the last series, then it's already starting from a lower base. Factually, yeah, that is correct. Nothing to disagree with there. And he continues, of course, consolidated figures will tell the real story, but traditionally, the show is mostly watched on evening that it is on. And again, he's not wrong there. And it also adds a fairly consistent amount overnight, but we won't have the fuller picture for a few weeks. Right now, it's in not brilliant, not terrible territory. I mean, I personally take that to mean, you know, that's fine. Not brilliant, sure. Not terrible, yeah. Fair enough. His final thought, which I thought was quite interesting, unsurprisingly, the last 5 minutes had much higher viewing figures of 5.41 million, compared to the overall average, as people tuned in for Strictly. So it's a shame the BBC didn't run a post-credits, exciting stuff coming up in the series trailer to take advantage of that larger audience. That's something I admit I hadn't really thought about, and I do agree with Lizo on that one. I think, you know, that sort of here's what's to come would have been quite exciting. I know recently we had a Flux trailer on the whole, but even just like a little 30-second teaser of what's to come might have been more of an intense thing. Hopefully the return of the Sontarans, which I think is sort of, you know, vaguely known in the wider public consciousness. They've been around quite a long time. I'd like to think that'll help, but it'll be interesting to see where they go. So yeah, with Lizo's tweets, I don't disagree with him. You know, that's being factually correct. He didn't say this is the worst overnights ever, because they aren't. I actually have a little tally as to where. Let me have a look. Oh, I'm glad you can all see the desktop, by the way. This is good. And now you can see me looking at my YouTube page. I didn't even think about that. Yes, I've got a YouTube tab open. It's going to be like a live stream within a live stream. You can tell I've not done this before, can't you? Or not in a very long time. So sorry about any wobbly bits. You know, trying my best. So we're going to go on now to good old Wikipedia. And I'm on Series 11. I'm going to jump to Series 12. Now, again, before anyone starts, oh, it's Wikipedia. I've checked these numbers, you know, in my viewing figure series. I've checked these with the numbers found in Doctor Who magazine, in the Complete History series of books, on various other websites. And as far as I can see, these are pretty much correct. It's a simple way, and it's easy for me to read, okay? I've got bad eyesight. So as you can see then, the overnights for Series 12. Skyfall, as Lizo said, 4.88 million. And then Skyfall Part 2 was 4.6 million. So the Halloween Apocalypse got less viewership overnight than those two. But if you look, you know, Orphan 55, 4.19. Nicola Tesla's Night of Terror, 4.04. So as we go further down, you can see that the Halloween Apocalypse actually scored higher than the rest of them, bar the New Year special for 2021, Revolution of the Daleks, which got 4.69 million. So if you include Revolution in the Series 12 batch, so 11 episodes, the Halloween Apocalypse did better than all of Series 12, bar 3 episodes, which, I mean, compared to the last season, isn't too bad at all. when you look at consolidated figures, this is going to be the really interesting total. And I want to keep focused to this one right now. It won't let me highlight just that column, but where it says total viewers there, I want to focus on that one just for the minute, because that's when it's consolidated after 7 days. It's what gets reported the most. There are the 28-day viewers as well, but normally there's not as big of a jump. So in the consolidated ratings here, you can see that, I mean, Skyfall Part 1, 2 million extra viewers in 7 days. Speaks for itself, bumps it up to 6.886 million. And even throughout the rest of Series 12, you can see, 1.47, 1.19. The only one that didn't get over 1 million in consolidated ratings was The Timeless Children, which had 0.91. So I think when comparing, immediately to the past year, it would be nice to see Flux get that amount of viewership, if you like, in terms of consolidated viewers, at least 1 million consolidated viewers. I wouldn't necessarily be concerned, but again, as Lizo stated, yes, a lot of the viewership are going to watch on the night or overnight, and then the rest of it will come in the 7 days. There's not that much difference between 7 and 28 days. That's 3 weeks you're including there. So the total viewers, that'll be the one to watch. Considering Halloween Apocalypse is on 4.43, I'd like it to get to 6 million. So that's roughly like a 1.65 boost in consolidated ratings, which, if you go off Series 12, was only done by Revolution of the Daleks and Spyfall Part 1. And because Halloween Apocalypse is the premiere, I'd like to think it has a reasonable chance. So if we can get to 6 million for the premiere in the consolidated, I'd personally be cool with that. I think that's a good figure. And now, I know there are also some people who detract and say, oh, but it's not as high as Series 11, and it's not as high as David Tennant's era or anything like that. And I mean, technically you're correct if we look at Series 11 just for a second. So, of course, Woman Who Fell to Earth, there it is, had overnights of 8.2 million. That's fantastic. And when you consolidate it, it had 10.96 million viewers, over 10 million. That's a fantastic result for Doctor Who, absolutely. And even the lowest overnight was It Takes You Away, which had 5.07 million tuning in and a consolidated of 6.421. Is that the lowest there? Yes, I think it is. So, that's a pretty big breadth. But of course, Woman Who Fell to Earth, it's the same argument as always, with a new Doctor and the first female Doctor, there was a lot more general public interest for that episode. And yes, it does drop, but there's a drop in pretty much every Doctor Who season, of New Who at least. Or I think most of them have drops. I mean, Series 10, this was the one where people started to get their knickers in a twist about it, because starting from the pilot, so overnight, 4.64. So that's barely more than, very close to what the Halloween Apocalypse got. And that got consolidated of over 2 million. So it's certainly possible. This was only 4 years ago. But I do think the landscape has changed as well, somewhat. I'll just come back on you'll see this for a sec. So we'll go back on the live screen. There we are. How many have we got? Wow, we've got 27 of you. I didn't realise you'd all come in. Brill, thanks for joining in. That's incredible. I'll just refresh the chat so I can come up to speed. Right, chat. What have we been saying here? That's the world. Oliver says that's the world we live on, streaming. So to get still over 4 million is good. Still, being the second viewed show of the day. That is right. That is something that I don't think was in Lizo's tweet. But yes, the Halloween Apocalypse was the second highest viewed show of the day, only behind Strictly Come Dancing, which is a juggernaut in itself. But it had more viewership than ITV's drama that evening. Can't remember what it was called, but that had 3.8 million. And the last BBC Sunday night drama, which was Ridley Road, I believe its last episode got 3.8 million, which is still less than the Halloween Apocalypse. And just to, because there's lots of detractors there, Doctor Who, of course, is a pre-existing brand. People know it. A section of the general public, so those who aren't mega fans or mega nerds like us, a section of the general public is likely to tune in to that first episode because it's Doctor Who and they've seen trailers and they've seen all that. But, still, for a drama, it's not too shabby because, in the last 5 years, TV has changed so much. And I was talking about this with someone today in the comments, but there is an example. What was that? Clacker, the ITV drama is The Larkins. Thank you. Yes, The Larkins. That was the name of it. But an example bit, there are a few outliers, of course. There's always going to be exceptions to the rule. I think my mate Mr. TARDIS has talked about this. You should go and check out his channel as well. He also does live streams and he talks a bit about this, so big up Mr. TARDIS. But you've got to take into account there are always going to be exceptions to the rule. Examples I can think of recently, Vigil, that submarine drama. I think that premiered with, 9 million viewers, and the finale was about 7.8 million, which in this day and age for terrestrial television is pretty damn good. That's no longer like the respectable figure it would have been in like the 70s and 80s. That is good. And then what was it, Bodyguard, if you remember that show, I think that got, was it like 10 or 11 million viewers? So that's another prime example. And you've also got Line of Duty, which had its 6th series this year, and that got somewhat mad, like 15 million viewers, which is absolutely crazy. Like, it's just, for a show to get that, Aiden, yes, is certainly the outlier, absolutely. Just since we're talking about Line of Duty, actually, let me show you the viewing figures for that, because they are available. So let me do this thing again where I show you my desktop very briefly. All right, we should be back on Wikipedia now, and I'm going to go up here and type in Line of Duty. So let's click on that. Now I've got to remember where it is. I didn't actually watch Line of Duty, I don't know why. I never got round to it, but I did. Where's that? There we go. If I go on list of Line of Duty episodes, right? Okay, so Series 1 back in 2012, right? UK viewers in millions, retrieved on February 2014. Excellent. That was from the Barb itself, which is the research board that calculates the viewers. I'll talk more about that in a second. In fact, if I click on Series 1, does it have individual? Okay, so I'm guessing then, just from this, this figure is the final consolidated total. So 3.76 million, 3.84 million, 3.8 million, yeah? And this was back in 2012, a time when viewers like that on BBC One might have been seen as a tad worrisome, but if you look up here, the first 3 series of Line of Duty all aired on BBC Two, and look at the average viewership, 3.8, 3.4. Nice jump to 5.4, nice 2 million boost there, because obviously the series got more popular. But there's also gaps. Look, there's a gap of 2 years there, nearly 2 years there, and then it goes on to BBC One. And this is where it skyrockets. Look at that average, 9.55, 12.85, 15.39. There's still those gaps, but BBC One, being the BBC's like main flagship channel, always has a higher amount of viewership. It's been the longest established. People know what it is. They associate it with high quality drama. Not that they don't with BBC Two, but viewers can be less inclined, and sometimes the shows on BBC Two don't get as much promotion as BBC One shows. It's the same with ITV. Viewers will mainly tune into ITV1 for the association. It's been around for over 65 years. It's associated with high quality drama for those who watch it, compared to like ITV2 and 3, which are associated with reality, repeats, things like that. It's about audience perception as well. So as you scroll down here, so Season 4, when it jumped to BBC One, this aired in 2017, around the same time that Series 10 of Doctor Who was. And as you can see, in its consolidated, it's getting 9.2, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9 consistently, and then 10 at the end. So why is that happening? Because it's the outlier. You've got to think, with a continuing drama like Line of Duty, I think viewers are aware that it has a finite life. Doctor Who has proven that its life is sort of open-ended. It could end one day, but it goes on and on and on and on. And sometimes people want to just dip in and out. With Line of Duty, like a lot of crime dramas, they go on for a finite amount of time before they wrap up. Granted, I think Line of Duty has gone on longer than some people thought. But the fact that it is, they're invested in the story, the characters, word of mouth gets round, and as a result, more people tune in. You can see that with Series 5 here in 2019. 13 million viewers, 12 million, 12 million, 12 million, 13 million. In 2019, to get 12, 13 million viewers on 7-day consolidated figures on a drama is remarkable, and it doesn't happen often. Back in like the 1970s, 80s, that figure still would have been seen as a major success, but it arguably happened more often because there was less choice, there wasn't the competition of the internet, and yeah, those are the two main reasons, I'd argue. And then Series 6, of course, which was this year, which aired during whilst we were still in like either a lockdown or restrictions, 15 million, 14 million, 16 million for the finale. And look at that graph. Look how it all just ascends. as that goes on. And, happy for Line of Duty. That's incredible. But I still maintain this is the exception to the rule for the fact that it's a finite drama. It is eventually going to wrap up. People are invested in these fixed characters, these ongoing storylines. Word of mouth goes round. People binge the previous sets and it all goes up. If they do one more series, I don't know if they are, but if they do a series 7, I wouldn't be surprised if it went even higher than that next time, honestly. So that's the Line of Duty one. I'd say that's the main outlier. So let me just bring it all back to the live screen here. So let me have a look at the chat. I haven't been looking at the chat recently because I'm working with one screen. Got 23 of you still here. Nice to still have you here. ITV4 is good, is it? I don't really watch ITV4, so you'd have to fill me in. For non-Brits like me, what even is Line of Duty? It's a police crime drama show, I'm led to believe. As I said, I haven't really delved into it myself. I see Phil's here. Hello, Phil. Yes, live stream. It's very, very exciting, isn't it? Gotta love a little live stream. It's been fun so far. What time? I probably won't be on for too much longer, but I still will be here. This has been a fun time so far. Some of you have been asking, I notice. You're asking, how are viewing figures calculated? Because it's some people don't know. So allow me to take you back to the desktop and I will show you. So we're going to go to an article from the Radio Times, which is the leading listings magazine, has been for nearly 100 years, I think. Why TV viewing figures don't work the way you think. This article, for context, was written on the 30th of November 2018. So it's a few years old, but I don't think anything major has changed. So the main bit you need to know is where they come from. They don't have a secret, spy in your TV watching. So TV ratings aren't exact. Rather than take on the impossible task of monitoring all UK screens at once, the BARB, the British Audience Research Board, instead relies on a sample of 5,300 households, about 12,000 people in total, to represent the viewing habits of the entire country, selecting them on factors like age, number of children, ethnicity, house size, and many others to help ensure they give a realistic cross-section of the country. So it's a sample group. This means that each of these 12,000 people, the so-called BARB panel, have a lot of viewing power. If one of them tunes in to Strictly Come Dancing on Saturday night, to BARB, 5,000 people have just done the same. So that's just a rough example, so almost like one person equates to 5,000 viewers. In fact, you can argue in terms of overnight figures, this panel has all the power. All of those millions of pounds broadcasters spend on promoting their shows, all the posters for their latest programmes you see on the train, they're effectively only aimed at these 12,000 people, the 5,300 households at the helm of the UK's 13.8 billion TV market. So, exactly, they don't have a monitor on like your TV box or in your phone that tracks what you're watching, unless you're part of the sample group, but it's this sample household. And of course, that's not an exact science. You could argue there's a lot of flaws in that. It's a lot of assumption, prediction, but it's how these ratings have been calculated for decades now, which also lends into the argument that no matter what happens with viewing figures for Doctor Who or any programme, it's arguably not 100% reflective, but I'll carry on. So with this massive extrapolation, you're probably wondering one thing. Why on earth are only 5,300 households on the panel? Doesn't that seem, an insanely small group to represent at the time 66 million Brits? And like with most things in TV, it comes down to money. Money, 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 man. The BARB say if we had 20,000 households, we could have less variability in our data, but the study would cost a lot more. If we wanted to halve the standard error in our data, we would have to have a panel 4 times as big. So the sets are monitored, and then there's a whole thing about what happens when you join BARB and what the BARB... Okay, so what does the BARB not measure, yeah? What does it not decide to do? They don't. Out of any home viewing, apart from that done on a selected portable device owned by the panellists, it isn't recorded. However, it might not be a big problem as it seems, with only 6% of people at the time watching TV out of the house. So there you go. And then it tells you about overnight and consolidated, which we've talked about here already, about how Netflix don't reveal theirs because, they're in control of their own things like that. So there's a lot in it, really. So the viewing figures aren't calculated on an individual by individual basis, probably primarily because they can't be. Think of how much work that is to do. Come back to the live screen. It's a lot of work for these companies to do, and that's probably the main reason why they won't do it. So that gives you hopefully a little insight into how these viewing figures are calculated, at least. But let's talk some predictions. What are you thinking the viewing figures are going to be for the rest of Flux? I'd love to know your predictions for the overnights, your predictions for the 7-week consolidated. Let me know in those comments. I want to know what you think. And also, if you are here in the live stream, thank you for joining me. Please leave a like if you're enjoying it. Really means a lot, really helps out the channel as well. Keep commenting in the chat, and I've been enjoying this. I'd definitely like to do this. I'd definitely like to do this more. I hope there hasn't been any like major teething issues. As I said, I know the picture quality might not be the best, but it's the best I can work with at the minute, I'm afraid. So I hope you've been enjoying it so far. This has been really good fun, and discussing the episode as well. I'm excited for next week. War of the Sontarans. That's exciting, isn't it? Love the good old potato boys coming back. Looks like we're going to be set in the Crimean War. We're going to meet Mary Seacole. It's going to be fun. I also love the new Sontarans, by the way. That design is that sort of like more grungy, more like war-torn look is, I think, a great look for them. They feel very classic. They feel very much like they did in like the Time Warrior and the Two Doctors, just to name a few. Let's have a read of some of these comments here. What have we got? Humabile says, don't they measure viewers by power surges caused by kettles boiling for tea anymore? If that ever was a thing, sure, but I don't think they do that anymore. Did you do a live stream before? Yes, I've done a few last year, but they weren't very good, I don't think. The images from episode 2 look very good. They do, Oliver. I'm very excited. Will you be watching it live, says Macra? I hope to. I'm actually going to be in London at the BFI for the screening of Galaxy 4 on that day, but I am hoping to watch the episode live in my hotel. So about the episode 2 review, I won't be doing it on the night because I'll be away. So I think you'll get an episode 2 review video on, I want to say like Tuesday the... What will that be? Tuesday the 9th of November. So sorry it's a bit later, but there's nothing much I can do about it, I'm afraid. Daniel Cox says, I guess 4.5 million for the next few episodes of Flux. Them views might go up to 6 million. That would be really good, actually. That would be really good if we could get them up to 6 million. I hope they do. Of course, the most infamous example, the highest viewed Doctor Who story of all time, is City of Death from 1979. But if you've done your homework and you've been watching my viewing figure series, you'll know from that season 17 video, ITV was off the air, there was only 3 channels, and clearly everyone wanted to watch Doctor Who. BBC Two, there just wasn't anything that was captivating them. So that's great, It's great to see Doctor Who ascend that high. The highest figure of New Who, I think, is Voyage of the Damned, 13.31 million. Philip says, do you have a prediction for consolidated 7-day figures? Well, as I said, for Halloween Apocalypse, I'd love for it to get to at least 6 million. I think that's a pretty stable one. From there, I'd like it to maybe hover between, if I had to put a bracket on it, between 5 and 6 million viewers. It'd be a shame if we go on if it drops below 5 million for consolidated. So I'd like to think 5 to 6 is a reasonable target to aim for. I don't think that's particularly being too unreasonable. I'd like to think not anyway. You also say, it's the 7-day figures also just from the Barb panel, or do they take actual iPlayer data for those? I do believe, I know it didn't say it in that Radio Times article, but I do believe iPlayer viewings are now taken into account. They didn't used to be, but I think now they actually are for the first time or something. Macra says, will you be at the BFI screening for City of Death? I won't. I'll be working. I'm performing a Christmas show, so I unfortunately won't be there for that one. But I know that many of you will be, because a lot of you are City of Death fans. I'm not too not too fussed on City of Death myself. Daniel Cox says, need all the other channels to go on strike and get 20 million. Yeah, that'd be good. ITV, Channel 4, Channel 5, all you digital channels. Do you just wanna go on strike for us? That'd be. I think we'd all enjoy that. You go on strike, we'll get 20 million viewing figures. Everyone will be happy there. Everyone will be happy. Oh dear, let me just check the YouTube feed. I don't know why the picture looks so faded on YouTube. On my screen, on the OBS screen, it has like full of colour and it's quite smooth. Although saying that, the YouTube one looks fairly smooth, just not how I intended, which is a little bit weird. But no, yeah, this has been I don't know how long we've been going for now. We've been going for like quite a little bit, haven't we? Well, tell you what, my throat is getting parched. I need to get a drink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and put up my BRB slide again. Again, this is all new to me. I'm going to put up the BRB slide and I'll be back with you in 2 minutes. Don't go away. Okay, we are back. Hello, thank you for sticking around, those of you who have. Let me have a look what you've been talking about. Humabile says you've been loving the Viewing Figures series, been catching up with new and old Doctor Who after dropping it a few years ago. Glad to hear you've been picking it back up. Finding ways to watch old Doctor Who is hard, though. I feel that. Well, if you're a UK viewer, BritBox UK has all of Classic Who, I believe, so you could always take out a free trial or a subscription. Overseas, I think it's on overseas BritBox, is it not? I could be wrong on that one. What else have we been talking about here? Network is great for Blu-rays. Yes, Daniel Cox, I agree. I've been getting a lot of Blu-rays recently. I've been trading out some of my old DVDs. I'm finally upgrading. Probably like several years too late. Absolutely. So, just to go back, I did come back, Mr. TARDIS. Hello, he's here. Big up Mr. TARDIS in the chat, everybody. Nice to have him here. Makes great content himself. You should definitely check out his work too if you haven't already. So, back to the Halloween Apocalypse then. I was, as I said, I've rewatched it and I was having a wee little think. And the biggest thing I thought is, how on earth is the Doctor going to get out of this one? If you've seen it, spoilers coming up. If you haven't seen it, click away now. But obviously the cliffhanger is the Flux is coming. It's got the TARDIS doors open. The Doctor's tried vortex energy. That has done jack all. It's not going to work. And it seems like the end of the universe. The Doctor seems to be defeated and then the cliffhanger came in. So how's she going to get out of this one, eh? I want to know those thoughts. My first thought was, well, Carvanista is probably going to instigate something to help. They've obviously made that shield, maybe sort of like almost like, you know, the Daleks have their emergency temporal shift, might do something like that. I saw a theory on Twitter that it could be the HADS, the Hostile Action Displacement System, which is a feature on the TARDIS, which, for those who don't know, if the TARDIS is in like imminent danger, then this system will move it just a little bit to a safe location, and considering they're right on top of Earth, makes sense that they move it there. So that could be cool if it is the HADS. Nice little throwback. The HADS has only been featured twice, I think. So the first time was the Crotons in Patrick Troughton's time, when a Croton fires at it, you know, with its deep, brummy, vague South African accent. Shall we destroy the TARDIS machine? And then it was used in Cold War, the Matt Smith episode, which was a fun little reference. What are we saying here? Philip, have you worked out yet when you'll reach this current series in your Doctor Who rating series? Oh, what? Series 13? Hey, goodness. Oh, well, I've just finished the classic series. I think it's actually not going to be until, say, like summer next year at the earliest. Macro says maybe the Flux doesn't destroy, it just displaces. That could be a potential thing. Maybe it just... so what? You think it'll displace them in time? It'll move them somewhere else? Something like that? Maybe that is a potential. That is a potential, absolutely. Yeah, it could be. I kind of... The more I'm thinking about it, I kind of love it if it was the HADS theory. I just love that idea that you've got this end of the world system, and then, you know, this random feature the TARDIS has is the thing that saves it. I think that would be really cool. Aiden says, how big of a role do you reckon Mary Seacole will get in the Great Sontaran War? I hope she gets a lot to do. I hope she's just not one of those, like, historical cameos. Like, they're featured a lot in the trailer, but then they don't actually do a lot in the episode. So I kind of want her to be, like, a main presence. I want her to, like, work with the TARDIS team. I want her to be a key part of the story, just as much as the Sontarans, I'm sure, will be. It's called War of the Sontarans, for goodness sake. I think they're going to be a pretty big part of it, that's for sure. But yeah, no, I hope she does. And I mean, I'm looking forward. I love it when historical figures get into Doctor Who anyway. I always think it's one of the show's like strongest features, getting historical figures in. So seeing Mary Seacole will be great. And I wonder if we're going to get any more. Obviously, Joseph Williamson popped up in episode 1. That was the guy in Liverpool 1820, the guy building the tunnels. The thing is with Joseph Williamson, in real life, no one knows why he built those tunnels. It's an unknown mystery, which is perfect for Doctor Who in a way, really, because they can do literally anything with it. So we know we're going to see him a bit more, but I wonder, aside from Joseph Williamson and Mary Seacole, if we're going to get anyone else thrown into the mix. Are we going to have a historical extravaganza thrown into the mix? I think that'd be pretty cool if we did. But yeah, all to play for, guys, all to play for. This is the beauty of Doctor Who, though, isn't it? You can literally take any character, any historical figure, any story, and just sort of do what you want with it. And that's what I mean, that's one of the many things I admire this creative team for. In terms of historical characters, they've really gone to town with them, which I think is great. Sorry I keep drinking, by the way. It's just my throat got parched earlier. It's like, I need some water. I need some water. Maybe the TARDIS goes into siege mode like in Flatline. That would be a really cool little throwback where it goes into a little box. I'd absolutely adore that, you know, if that actually happened. I think that would be a really cool feature. A really cool feature, that's for sure. Sorry, I have to catch up on your videos for a little while, but I will catch up, as I hope your extra videos are... Oh, yeah, no, catch up at your own leisure. There's no rush. There's no rush on this channel. It's no rush. Oh, guys, this has been fun. I've really enjoyed live streaming here. I know it's like, sorry if it's not been like the most interesting. I did this, I sort of thought, oh, I'll talk about the Halloween apocalypse, but I mainly did this stream as a test. This is the first time I'm using an OBS setup with the chat box, and, well, there would be alerts if Super Chat was turned on. I don't know why it's turned off. I need to look into that. But yeah, this is my test stream, if you like, and I only mainly had that one topic, so rest assured I do want to do more of these now that I know it works. So if you want to see more live streams, please remember to leave a like on this video or let me know in the chat. I want to do more, so hopefully you guys will enjoy more live streams too. In terms of what I talk about, it might be like a different stream of topics. I might try and like put together a list of like, here's what I want to talk about, and then maybe I'll put that in the description of the video when it goes live so you can see what topics are going to be discussed. It could be, they could last an immeasurable amount of length, but it's all to play for. Going live, man. Going live. JBTV says, I think the live stream has been interesting and very amazing. Thank you so much. It means a lot that you guys enjoy it. Rob says, I'm buying more into this theory that the Doctor has been on a parallel universe since Series 11. Interesting. When would have that happened? I wonder, when did she fall into this parallel universe? Jean-Luc says, it's been a good stream. Don't worry. Thanks, man. Bless. Also, if you want to see more of Jean-Luc's work, check out the Whoniversals channel. They're a great bunch. They make some great stuff. So big up the Whoniversals there. Go and subscribe to them for more good Doctor Who content. The live stream has been fun. Thank you, Daniel. I'm glad it has been. I'm really glad it has been. I know I talk about a lot of nerdy things like viewing figures and stuff, but I like numbers. What can I say? Numbers are fun. Numbers are fun, man. I loved maths as a kid, except for when we got to trigonometry. As soon as we got to trigonometry, I was out. Boom, done. Not going to be a maths teacher. That's that idea slashed. So, yeah, no, but thank you for sticking with me. The 17 of you still here. Thank you for sticking with me. It's been a great time. In terms of how regularly these things are going to be, I don't really have a set plan. I'm currently preparing a lot for Christmas. I'll say a little bit now. I've got videos planned for December. I'll be working a lot this December. So in terms of how frequently I can hop on and do a bit of a live stream chat with you, I'm not too sure, but I do want to do more. I do want to do more. You will see more live streams on the channel, and I promise you, it's not going to be like last year where I did like 4 or 5 of them and then I just never did them again. Now that I've got like an OBS set up, now that I know roughly what I'm doing, sort of maybe, and I'll try and make things smoother as I can. But yeah, just it means a lot that you've stuck around. So thank you very much. So with that then. Thank you for sticking with me. Please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. If you are brand new, hope you've enjoyed the live stream. Hope you stick around with us. And yeah, more content to come. More Doctor Who. More ident stuff. More now review stuff. Lots of stuff coming up for Christmas. Lots of stuff there. So I hope you... the channel I don't upload enough on. Come on, Jean-Luc. Don't beat yourself down like that, man. Go and check out the Whoniversals, guys. Great channel. Great channel. But yeah, I'll leave you with that. I've got an end card, so hopefully this will work. This will work smoothly in transmission. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this stream. I know it's been a test. It's been a bit all over the place, but oh wait, whoa, wait a minute. Macra, episode 3 name announced. Excuse me. Let me go over to Doctor Who Twitter. It normally is there. Where is it now? 3 come on, give me something, give me some. Where once, comma, upon time. Ooh, once, comma, upon time. That. Ooh, okay. That's an interesting title. Once upon time. Well, hang on, what are the gifs? Look at this guy. Oh, that's great. Ooh, okay, once upon time. Let's bring it back to the live screen. Wow, just about when the stream's about to end, it comes in right at the last minute, eh? Once upon time. Obviously very similar to Capaldi's last one, Twice Upon a Time. But this is just once, comma, upon time. That could mean a whole rafter of things. Like, this isn't just once upon a time. This is once upon time. I made that sound like really grand. I don't know what it could mean. That's cool. That's cool, man. That's really cool. Hey, Macro, shout to Macro. I was literally about to end this stream, and they're like, hey, look, episode 3's been revealed. Oh my god. Once upon time. Maybe that's the episode to do with the Weeping Angels, because of course they send people back in time. So maybe that's what it has something to do with there. Hey, not bad. Hey, I'll tell you what I'll do, give you a little insight. I'm going to open up a Word document. So I started this. I think I did this in like 2015, and I've kept it updated for no other reason than that I was completely bored one day at university. I decided to make a Word document that just had the name of every Doctor Who story. Like that is it. It's just the name of every Doctor Who story. Do I have it on this computer? Maybe I don't have it on this. Maybe it's on my old laptop, but I used to have this file. Oh, no, I don't think it's here. Is it here? No, it's not. Okay, never mind. I'll have to transfer that over, but I'll have to update that with the new title. Well, there you go. Once Upon Time is the episode 3 title. That is pretty quirky, pretty neat. I think we're all big fans of that. Yes, absolutely. Wow. Well, we'll have to talk more about that when we get to episode 3. So, in the meantime, we'll try this again. I've got this end card ready. Hopefully it'll work. Thank you very much for tuning into this test stream. I will be doing more of them. I haven't got like a structure as to when they'll be coming out, but I hope you stick around and I hope you join me for them as we go. So in the meantime, have a good day. Have a good week. I hope you're all looking forward to War of the Sontarans on Sunday. And until the next one, folks, I will see you next time.